joyful. We adore thee, God of glory, Lord of love. Hearts unfold like flowers before thee, opening to the sun above. Melt the clouds of gloom and sadness, drive the dark of doubt away. Giver of immortal gladness, fill us with the light of day. Joyful, yes, we adore thee. Joyful, we adore thee. Joyful, joyful, yes, we adore thee. 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 Joyful, joyful, we adore thee. God of glory, Lord of all. Hearts unfold like flowers before thee, opening to the sun above. Melt the clouds of gloom and sadness, drive the dark of cloud away. Giver of immortal gladness, fill us with the light of day. Hey, joyful, yes, we adore thee. Joyful, yes, we adore thee. Joyful, yes, we adore thee. Joyful.
And feeling that joyful presence, feeling that music that is within this room, the sound that transcends, receptive, sensitive to the divine emanation that is rising within this moment. For together we have come together for a time such as this to bring forth this message of rising triumphant within our individual lives. For I know today is a triumphant expression of the presence of God individualizing itself in our individual hearts and souls. And so today in this collective space, there is a personal experience for each and every one of us. For we're truly transcending this physical dimension and opening up to the other vibrations and frequencies that are going on within this room. For God is made manifest at many levels. For those that are here for the first time or those that are celebrating our 25th year, I know that truly joyful noise is being made. Excited to experience that at every level of our being. We go forth into this time experiencing that light, that love. And so it is.
I said it's joy time. Hi, everybody. All right, happy Easter. Let's do this. Reverend Christian always makes us do this one song, and we got to do it good this year, okay? This is the year. All right, so right down the middle right there, this is group A, say A. All right, in the middle here, from here to there, your group B, say B. And you're, very good, excellent. All right, so group A, you're going to go, I am as God created me in the light, in the love, in the glory. The words are up there, go for it. I am as God created me in the light, in the love, in the glory. You'll keep singing that. You will not stop. Sing it again. I am as God created me in the light, in the love, in the glory. Give them a big hand. They were excellent, excellent. Group B. You're going to go in the light, in the love, in the glory of God I am. Good. In the light, in the love, in the glory of God I am. Sing it again. In the light, in the love, in the glory of God I am. Give them a big round of applause. They were good. All right, Group C, in the choir, what we're going to do is my favorite part. It goes like this. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory, I am. Go ahead. Okay, in the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory, I am. Give them a big round of applause. Let's all stand up. Come on, let's go. Now, once you start singing, don't stop. Oh, yeah. Hey, 1, 2, 3. I am as God created me. In the light, in the love, in the glory. I am as God created me. In the light, in the love, in the glory. Keep singing. In the light, in the love, in the glory of God I am. In the light, in the love, in the glory of God I am. Keep singing. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory, I am. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. Come on, brass section. Hey! In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the light, in the love, in the glory. I am as God created me. In the light, in the love, in the glory. I am as God created me. In the light, in the love, in 1, 2, faster. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. I am. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. I am. In the light, in the love, in the glory of God I am. In the light, in the love, in the glory of God I am. I am as God created me. In the light, in the love, in the glory. Keep singing now. In the light, in the love, in the glory. 2, 3, go! I am as God created me. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory, I am. Here we go. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory, I am. Good job.
go. Wow, y'all warmed up? Carl Anthony does such a great job. Thank you, Carl. We love you. Thank you to our wonderful choir. Aren't they awesome? Led by Reverend Fran. Let's go to Chris. Thank you to our band. Happy Easter to all of you. I love this day, and it's particularly because we get to wear our minister's gowns, we'll call it that. It reminds me of Robert Schuller, which we no longer have Robert Schuller anymore, but I know most of you remember him, where he'd stand up and say, "This is the day the Lord hath made. Let us rejoice in it." And that is so true, for this is an Easter day, a time for us to be conscious and aware and to know that all is new, for all is God. I'm Reverend Tammy Mars. It's my joy to wish you a happy Easter, to be here with you, and to lead you in our responsive reading, which will be up on the board. All right. So let us affirm this truth. I am the resurrection and the life together. I am illumined. It is made clear. I am revealing the consciousness of wisdom and spirit. The old has passed away, and behold, the new has come. For this is a new day. This is a new day. For this is a new day. I have all that I need for a full and joyous life. Today, I accept my wholeness in every part of my being. Today, I celebrate the wonder of this divine life living as me. Hallelujah, hallelujah. And so it is. So we got a wonderful taste of Carl Anthony. You know, Carl has been with us since the beginning of time. I think he was born here.
I still have my hair.
He still has his hair, too. It's so good. All us girls want to know where to get it done. But what a joy he is. And he has a new CD coming out. It's called India. You know, he travels all over this world. He has touched lives on every planet, on every continent, every planet. This man really gets around. And we love him. Please give a warm welcome to Carl Anthony.
Oh, wow. It's great to be around. Hi, everybody. My heart is open, and I am ready to sing for you. And this is a call. You know, we're creating memories, aren't we? I mean, here we are, Easter again. And it's really about memories. I have a song called My Memories. I want to sing it for you. And I am, you know, this winter, I've been working on my new CD. I'm so delighted. If you're interested about it, it's called India. And come out and see me at my table. I want to tell you all about it and sell it to you, okay? The last thing we'll remember here on earth is a memory we all have from birth. Our life begins in a sea of bright white, and it ends moving toward the light. I have learned that silence speaks louder than words, and laughter still sound I heard. I've had some painful times I still recall, but I wouldn't change a thing. I'd have to keep them all. It's what I am, what I believe, who I become. My memories. Growing up sometimes it's difficult to do. It's guaranteed to teach you something new. And as a boy, I was taught to know I can. I couldn't wait till the day when I'd be called a man. And I think back when going out meant holding hands, and breaking up was hard to understand. When I fell in love, the music wouldn't end, and I still hear that chorus now and then. It's what I am, what I believe, who I become. My memories is what I am. Together. It's what I am, what I believe, what I believe, who I become, who I become. My memories, my memories. If I knew then just a hint of what I know now, I'd put more time on who instead of how. You see, I've lost some friends in unexpected ways, and I think about that almost every day. Last thing we'll remember here on earth is a memory we all have from birth. Our life begins in a sea of bright white, and it ends moving toward the light. My memories.
Wow, are we blessed or what? What a beautiful message for Easter. Thank you, Carl. I think we can all go home now after those beautiful words. But I think we'll stay anyway. Anyway, I'm Reverend Christina Tillotson. And in here at Seaside, we celebrate Easter by celebrating the fact that life continues. And we celebrate that Christ light that is within each one of us. So I'd like to read from Dr. Ernest Holmes, the founder of our philosophy, our faith, and our way of life about that. Christ means the universal idea of sonship, of which each is a member. To think of Jesus as being different from other men is to misunderstand his mission and purpose in life. He was a way shower and proved his way is a correct one. His method was direct, dynamic, and powerful, yet extremely easy and simple to comprehend. He believed in God, in himself, as the power and reality. Believing in God within, he was compelled to believe in himself. To the illumined has ever come self-realization and I amness. Who could proclaim himself to be the way, the truth, and the life, unless he had understood that God indwelt his own soul? The Christ Spirit comes to all alike, proclaiming itself as the Son of God, even unto the humble in spirit. Proud of his divinity, yet humble before the greatness of the whole, Jesus spoke from the heights of spiritual perception, proclaiming the deathless reality of each individual life, the community of the individual soul, and the unity of universal spirit within all of us. I am. What more can I say? I am, it is enough. Because thou art, I am. From the depths of me, I am. In and around me, I am. Over and through me, I am. O inner being, eternal and blessed, complete and perfect, birthless and changeless and deathless, I am, and evermore shall be. And now it's my honor to introduce the choir once more, our amazing Seaside Choir. Let's give them a hand.
Shall be exalted, every mountain What joy-filled singing. Let's hear it again for the Seaside Choir. Good morning, everyone. My name is Reverend Sunshine Day, and it is my joy to be here with you this morning on this beautiful Easter Sunday, where we get to recognize our renewal and the renewal of this day and renewing of our minds, of our spirits, and our souls. And today I have the distinct pleasure of doing a reading, a selected reading for today. So listen up. Today's reading is taken from an article written by Dr. Edward Villon, and this is what he says. He says, when I was younger, I was frustrated by this part of the Easter story. I wanted Jesus to take control of the situation. When I studied metaphysics and learned how to pray in an affirmative manner and manage the world around me, I mistakenly thought I had full control of the universe. And my question for Jesus persisted. Why don't you just pray it away? Now, for me, the answer is because you simply can't. If you've ever been in a relationship that should have ended, but you stayed in it anyway, and you know that you stayed in it even though it was destroying you, then you know a little something about this feeling. It's got to end even though you don't want it to, and you know it. Jesus had just completed Passover dinner, and he took two of his students, Peter and James, into the garden, and he asked them to stay with him while he prayed. And he began, the gospel says, to pray, and he became deeply distressed and troubled. And he said, my soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death. And that is when he fell to the ground on his face. And he said, oh God, I know that everything is possible. And if it is possible, I would prefer not to have to go through this. Really? And yet, it is not my will that prevails, but yours. And that's the part of the story that metaphysicians like you and me don't like. Particularly, we don't enjoy hearing about it. And some of us even stop listening to the message. But because it is a powerful reminder that when it comes to transformation, there are serious limits to what we can control and what we cannot. And beyond that realization is the fresh awareness that everything that can become possible only when I allow and I align my will with the will of God. In other words, when I am wanting what God wants, that's when I rise. And now to take us into a deeper state of consciousness, I bring up Reverend Catherine Economo.
Aren't we blessed to have Reverend Sunshine Day with us now, our newest addition to our ecclesiastical team? So welcome, Reverend Sunshine. Welcome to the party and the family. And so it's with that sense of joy and excitement for this day that we come together in consciousness here. I invite you to take a deep breath, simply close your eyes, center into this place together. Breathing into the heart space, which is the heart of God, revealing itself as each of us. Simply moving into this inner realm, I know that divine heart space, that is spirit ever revealing itself in, through, and as all things. That creative force that has brought forth everything that exists is alive and breathing each of us as we come together in this day and we sit in this space, this sanctuary that is the heart of this spiritual community, this spiritual family. We come together to reveal the glory and the light and the love of God itself. For that is a truth of life. It is a truth of each of us, and we are united in this presence, in this essence, and in this moment, coming together to open, to be the revelation of Spirit here and now. And so I know on this day that this is a day of rising. This is a day of revelation and of wholeness. This is a day of stepping beyond any idea of limitation, any sense of obstacle, any experience of pain. It all surrenders as the light shines forth as each of us. And so I know that that which has been experienced has passed away. And we stand anew, reborn in this moment, empowered by that infinite perfection that reveals its wisdom in ways that we may not understand, but simply is ever guiding and guarding and supporting us, and it is activated and in action here and now. And so it is with a grateful heart that we come together on this day of love, communing spirit to spirit on the deepest of levels to reveal this harmony, this peace, this wholeness, and the celebration of life. For I know that this blessing of life itself is revealing itself fully for each of us. And so with joy, with so much joy, I simply bless this day and give thanks for it, surrendering my word, knowing all is well, for God is here, and so it is. And so I have the great honor of calling back our beloved Carl Anthony. Holidays wouldn't be holidays here if we didn't have him with us, and so he's been such a blessing to us, and I get to invite him back to the stage.
Thank you. It is a joy. I tell you, it's so nice to see this place just filled up. Isn't it wonderful? It got a good vibe in here, doesn't it? Yeah. You must know that they meet here every Sunday. This is great. This is great. So you know what? I'm inspired by the chanting in India, and so call and response is the best. So when I'll tell you what, I'll go, rise up. See how easy that is? Yeah. Stand up. Wake up. All right. We should all stand up, don't you think? Yeah, I think so. Then go this way. Go ahead. That's right. Hey, did you know what the band has a horn section? Isn't that amazing? I love it. All right, try it. 1, 2, 3. Sound good. Rise up, emerge from the ashes, stand up, ignite the flame and wake up. You know your way, the time has come. Today's the day to rise up. That's right, today. Today's the day to rise up. Let's try that again, all right? Think loud. Rise up. Emerge from the ashes, stand up, ignite the flame and wake up. You know your way, the time has come. Today's the day to rise up. Sing that with me. Today's the day to rise up. Horn section. Woo! Door, wake up, believe in love and wake up. You know your way, the time has come. Today's the day to rise up. Come on, back and forth. Today's the day to rise up. Today's the day to rise up. Woo! Today's the day to rise up. Try him go. Today's the day to rise up. after me, all right? Here we go. We can now rise. Oh, rise up, emerge from the ashes, stand up, ignite the flame and wake up. You know your way, the time has come. Today's the day to rise up. Sing it with me. Today's the day to rise up. Hey. Today's the day to rise up. Today's the day to rise up. Horn section, come on, let's go. I like these guys. Rise up. No need to fear. Stand up. Walk through that door. Wake up. Believe in your love. The time has come. Today's the day to rise up. Yeah. Today's the day to rise up. Today's the day to rise up. Today's the day to rise up. We can now rise. Oh, yeah. Give it up for that band, okay? Come on, give it up.
Hey, Carl Anthony and the Seaside Choir. Oh my goodness. Just like any other Sunday at Seaside, I can assure you. Woo, my goodness. Hey, happy Easter, everyone. What a joy it is to be here. Fabulous day. Oh my goodness. Guys, you are great. The Seaside Band. Fabulous. Woo, all right. Well, feels good up here. So, hey, this week I had a chance to hear Sri Sri Ravi Shankar speak, and something he said is, the sun rises, and I celebrate. The wind blows, and I celebrate. The birds sing, and I celebrate. The sky embraces, and I celebrate. The flowers bloom, and I celebrate. Celebration is what Seaside is about. And I can just feel that celebration. Seaside celebrates, and I celebrate. There is something that's going on here. There's a rising of the Spirit. There is Seaside living this message of rising triumphant above any of the challenges or the tombs or the difficulties in which it has been in. Seaside has continued to step up because the members of this spiritual community have a consciousness that believes that there is a greater good than the picture that gets painted that, oh no, what could happen? Yeah. Oh, we were going through last year. Oh, no, we could actually lose this campus because the bank wanted their money back. It's like, how dare them? But we made a deal. And you know what? This community came together through this public bond offering, and we did it. We rise to the occasion. Yeah. I can remember our first sunrise service out on the patio. There was a dozen of us sitting in a weed patch. And today, there are 125 of us sitting out there, waking up the neighborhood with a celebration. Seaside is, and we celebrate. You know, and because you celebrate doesn't mean there aren't difficulties in life. You know, Joseph Campbell's the one who pointed out to have the resurrection, you've got to have a crucifixion. You know, you can't rise without going down. You can't resurrect without being crucified, and it's the crucifixion that cracks the egg. You know, it is this something that allows you to know you're still in the game. If you don't have problems, you don't have challenges, you're not in the game. Any sports fans? You know, if you're not being challenged, you're not in the game. It is more fun to have challenges and be alive and to call forth the greatness and the big you that is in you. So you can rise. This Easter message is for you. This Easter message is about you. You know, we have the Jesus story. But I want us to be aware that he was not the only one with this story. It's a beautiful story. I've walked in Jerusalem, in the Holy Sepulchre, and there is a vibration, that subjective field, that is so real that you can see it and feel it. But written on the walls in stone in Luxor is the story of Horus, 3,000 years preceding Jesus' story. Immaculate Conception, Son of God, the Trinity. You know, the virgin birth, Atman the Father, the Son is Horus, the Holy Spirit is Ra, the Sun God. It's not a new story. Here's a guy who, as a child, talked to the people, taught in the temple. Here's the story of a guy who was called the Way, the Light, and the Truth. Here is an individual who at 30 became a man and was baptized, who healed the sick and raised the dead. When buried, was buried in the gauze that was seamless, was associated with the cross, and on the third day rose. This isn't the only one. You have Mithra. In the catacombs, the Roman catacombs, 450 BC, you have the depiction of Mithra, born a virgin birth, star pointed where his birth. There were the wise magi that were there, associated with the cross. Once again, was crucified and raised himself up again on the third day. Zarathustra, they said if the Greeks had not won the battle of 480 BC, we probably all have been Zoroastrian because the teaching was the same. Paradise, life after, good, evil, and all of that. And the stories go on and on. And so what I come to feel is that there's something that is more real than the physical story. There is a truth that transcends the five senses, and it is your story. It is the truth about you that can rise triumphant from the ashes, that can rise from the tomb. When the women got to the tomb on the third day after Jesus' death, and they saw the stone rolled away from the tomb, and the angel said, "He's not here. He's risen." That is the truth for all of us, that we no longer need to be entombed. We can have our crucifixion. We can be brought down and be entombed by our fear, by our guilt, by our worry, by our scarcity, by our body, by our relationships. But there's some spirit that is within you that is ready to say, you're not here, you've risen. You have stepped up because life is a progression. It is rising. It is growing. It is evolving. Yeah, you all know this, whether you know it or not. You've lived it. I mean, you were born as a little baby, didn't stay a baby. There's a wisdom inside of you that had that infant become a young child. And that young child matured and became a young adult. And the young adult matured and became a full adult. And at some point, you're going to lay this body down. And who you are that animated this mortal coil is what continues on. Like the space shuttle. It has these rocket boosters that will send it up into other dimensions. But once it has fulfilled its purpose to get it out of this stratosphere, the boosters fall away, and it continues on its path and its new frequency and its new projection. Well, you too are able to drop the boosters and the past pains, that tomb or whatever it is, and rise to that new level in which you're here to do. But if you want to hit the big time, you got to bring the big you to the party. You know, you can't leave that little one hanging around. And I'll tell you what, that big you wants to be on that field. It wants to play. It wants to be in the game. And when you got sent into this world, you had what it takes. You know, and people come here reaching for the gold stars, but I got to tell you, when you got here, your pockets were stuffed with the golden galaxy, with all the stars that were in it. And the cosmic joke is people are stretching for the gold when you're here actually to be giving that gold. You didn't come here to get so you could get. You came here to get so you could let. You can let that spirit move. You can let that gold go. You can let those stars go forth and be the star thrower within your life that reminds people when they're having difficulty that they too can rise. This story isn't new. It is eternal. It is your story. You, when you came into this world, you've got everything that was necessary to be a success in this life, in this world. And that is exciting. When you begin to recognize that, you can feel the exhilaration. You can feel the excitement within your veins as if you've been drinking apricot brandy. It's like, yeah, I got it going on here. And you realize that you have everything that is necessary to make it happen and work in your life, that there's not just one way up a rickety ladder to your success, but rather you have got to trust that which sent you here has given you everything that is necessary, and there's many ways for your good to show up in your life, in your world. But you've got to be willing to let go of the leaky lifeboat you've been holding on to for the big cruise ship that comes cruising on into your world. And if not a cruise ship, a dinghy or a dolphin or something will show up, but you gotta let go of what it is you've been holding and allow yourself to rise up. Rise up out of the ashes, rise up. And the way you do that is to love. This resurrection is not about what it is you can get, it's about what it is you can let. It is that spirit, that Christ consciousness, that God consciousness. Nature is about letting it go, letting it be, letting it express itself in life and in your world. Sometimes what gets in the way are the distractions of this world. You forget that my pocket is filled with the stardust. You forget everything that you need is already there, no matter how thick the walls of that tomb appear to be. The distractions of this world grab you and hold you stuck, and you're the one who has to decide to let go. You know, Al Gore has a new TED Talk out. He talks about we're living in a distractional society that is distracting us to realize what is going on in the world around us. Well, in our individual world, we get distracted with trying to create our so-called comfort. And as we have found our comfort, we're no longer looking outside. It is time for us to open our eyes to what's going on in our individual world and on the planet as a whole. The women's group on Friday, April 12th, is bringing in Lynn Twist's group, the Pachi Mama Alliance. And the powerful group, and they've got videos and symposium to share to help awaken our eyes. What we must do is open our eyes and become aware of what is going on within our life, because we have been so bombarded and our subjective has taken the images that it cannot step into that dimension that is beyond what the eyes can see or what has been put into our mind. And for that Christ consciousness to rise, there needs to be some silence. The quieting of the mind, the stilling of the mind needs to take place for spirit to be heard. There was this young girl. Her parents had died, and so her grandmother took her in and was raising her in a small town. And one late night, a fire broke out on the lower floor, and the girl's bedroom was upstairs, and the grandmother tried to get to her granddaughter, and she perished in the fire. And by that time, the town had come around, they had circled the house, and the house was going up in flames, and they could hear the girl crying and screaming from the upstairs through the smoke. They knew she was up there, and the crowd just got notice that the fire department was still a ways away because there had been another fire, and they didn't know what they could do to save this girl. And out of the darkness, a man came with a ladder. He placed it up against the side of the building, crawled on up to the roof, into the window with the smoke and the flames coming out. And a few minutes later, he came out with this little girl's arms wrapped around his neck, embracing her, came down the ladder, and handed this little girl to the waiting arms below. And then disappeared with no acknowledgement, with nothing. A few weeks went by, and the town tried to figure out who is the rightful guardian or to watch this girl, and this girl had no family. And so the town called a town hall meeting, and they were going to decide who should become the rightful guardian for this little girl. And this one woman stepped forward and said, "Hey, I'm a teacher. I can give this girl the best education that will serve her the rest of her life." Another person stepped forward and said, "I'm a farmer. And we're being raised on the farm is wholesome, it's healthy, it is satisfying, it's the best thing." And other people stepped forward with what it is they had to offer this little girl, until the most affluent person within the town stepped forward and said, "You know what, I can offer her all of these things and even more. I can assist her with monetary ways as she gets going in life so she can get on her own feet." The little girl, she never picked her head up. She was just looking at the floor, and there was a silence in the room at this point. And the chair of the meeting said, "Is there anyone else who has anything to say?" In that moment, in the back of the room, someone entered that nobody really recognized. It was a man who had a gait that you could tell he was in pain as he walked down the center aisle towards that girl. And as he got to that little girl, he put out his arms. And the crowd just gasped because his arms was scarred and charred from having been burned, his arms and his hands. And the little girl looked at this man and yelled, "He's the one who saved me," and leaped into her arms, threw her arms around his neck, just the way she had done that night she'd been saved, buried her head into his shoulder, and just started crying, and lifted her head up, and she just smiled into his face. There was silence, and the chair said, "Meeting adjourned." Sometimes in our life, well-meaning opportunities are offered to us, and they will distract us. This education or this relationship or this this financial opportunity or what have you, and all of a sudden we forget to listen. That little girl never picked her head up until the right moment appeared. There was something inside of her that trusted. It's not my will, but thy will. There was something within her that knew. And there's something inside of you that knows what is right and best for you at this point in your life. What was best for you at last point in your life or last year or last season was for that. But right now, there's something in you that knows what is best for you at this point in your life. And your senses will burn with the energy, and the emotions will burn with the passion when you begin to honor that. But what happens a lot of times, it's what we throw on to those emotions that burns, like a fire. You can throw a rubber old tire in there, and you got smoke, and you got smog, and you got yuck going up in the air, pollution. Or you could throw sandalwood in there, and you got fragrance and life and healing. What is it that you're putting on that aspect of your being? What is it that is there? Because I'll tell you, you didn't come into this world ready-made, you're not pre-made, preordained. You have come into this world to develop your consciousness, to express yourself, to bring forth that for which you have to give to life. And this world hungers for what it is that you have, but you're the one who's got to embrace what you're going through in your life and not close down, not reject, and realize that mindfulness is what is necessary here. And in a mindful kind of time, you can begin to glean the lessons without making it wrong. You could be crucified and keep your eyes open because you are so attuned to God that you could go through the channel of death of this world and keep your eyes open and know that there's nothing but a glorious experience in which you can celebrate. Yeah, but you can't fill that subjective with the images that this world is throwing at you, because there is something that is more real than your five-dimensional self. I know it. I have been there. It is so true. It is a life force. It is something that unfolds, but you've got to be open to what life is offering you to see. You've got to let go of that leaky lifeboat and know that there's more, that you can rise triumphant in this time in your life, that you're still in the game. This is why there's something inside of you that is being called to a greater level, to express and to serve. The story's not new. I've shared several of them with you. And I can give you 20 of them. If you want, I'll list them another day or in a class, my mysticism class. I'll give them all to you. I'll tell you what, though. St. John of the Cross is one of the classics. Here is a guy. Not quite as classic as the Jesus one, but it's a good one. But, here he is, the head of the order of monks in Carmelite order. He's trying to change. His higher ups didn't like him trying to change the order, so they took him and they threw him in jail in Toledo. Not your typical jail. Basically, it was a 4x8 cell that was underneath a stairway that was once a latrine. And with that, they took him outside every day, and they beat him at 12 noon, at the noon meal, for entertainment for everybody. They humiliated this guy. They abused this guy. And then they would throw him back in his cell, barely closed, in the middle of winter, freezing. You just imagine that dark night of the soul in which he writes about, that terror and the horror and the anger that's stirring in his soul. And in 9 months he escaped, ran off to St. Teresa of Avila's convent, in which she assisted him to have that transformational moment where he had to decide whether he wanted those images to live in his subjective, the anger, the injustice, the righteousness, or was he going to bring forth the mystical experience of forgiveness? The mystical experience of forgiveness and love is what will transform, but it is a mystical directive to bring forth forgiveness, because it's not logical. I'm going to forgive them. Are you kidding me? No way. That is why it is a mystical directive and not the logical one to call forth the forgiveness in your world, but you need something to free you from that tomb. And your wounds are your tomb, and the more you visit that tomb, the staler the air gets, the more it sucks your psychic energy away from you, and each visit costs you more and more. It's like a compounding energy that will deplete your life force until you are a walking zombie in this world. Yuck! But you remember what Jesus said on the cross: forgive them. Forgive them. They know not what they do. Forgive them. You have that power. It's not my will, but thy will. Forgive them. That's what's going to allow you to rise triumphant from your tomb, whether that is tomb of guilt or fear or anxiety. Ernest Holmes, he's the founder of religious science. He said that there's a spirit that is within that cannot be separated. And you're not apart from that spirit. You're a part of that spirit. And you are the one who gets to individualize its expression into this world through your consciousness. What are you doing? What are you putting out there? What are you sprinkling with this great I am statement? You know, you say, I am, and the life says, yes, you are. That's what you're putting on the fire that burns the fragrance. That is what you're putting out in consciousness that creates. You individualize that infinite expression of spirit. So if you say, I love my life, then your mind begins to look, how can I love my life? It starts to look for evidence to validate it. If you say, I am blessed, your mind first goes, what, are you kidding? You seen your bank account? Did you hear what the doctor said? But no, your mind starts looking for evidence. So if you say, I love my life, let's say that. I am in love with my life. Let's say that again since I got it right. I am in love with my life. I embrace my life. I live in joy. I live in love. I'm an expression of love. And when do you get to experience that expression? When do you get to experience the abundance? When do you experience the healing? When do you get to experience the joy? When do you get to rise up? Now is the appointed hour. Now is the moment for which you have been blessed and given the ability in your life to bring forth the presence individualized by your level of consciousness. You are the one who gets to decide how it's going to manifest for you. I got to tell you, you are cosmic royalty. Whose pockets has been filled with the golden dust of the infinite. And it is up to you to let it go forth into life and realize thus far in your world you have been pushed by the boosters and you are dropping that away and you're flying in a new dimension that bends time and your world begins to respond to the healing consciousness that you have placed with those great I am statements on the soul and the fire in your belly of your spirit that can do all things because you are rising triumphant in your life now. So, you hit a good spot. Miracle happens. It's a pinnacle. It's like, all right. But what I want us to understand, it's not about making it. It's about making it every step. Yes, you're going to have milestones from the past. Yes, you're going to have milestones in the future, but right now is that amazing moment where the presence of God is unfolding and you get to decide whether you are going to be the captive or the captain of your world and your life, and whether you are going to give direction to what is stirring in your heart and soul, the vision that Spirit says, let it be my will, and you are able to say, okay, and believe that you have been given everything necessary to make that happen. For that vision that's been placed in your heart and soul has everything that's necessary to make it happen. Wonderful story about a young man by the name of Jerry. He played football in an Ivy League school. Well, he didn't really play. He practiced. He was on the team, but for 4 years he was never quite even close to good enough to play. He practiced, never missed a practice, 4 straight years, every practice he was there. The coach was inspired by Jerry, his commitment, his dedication, the way he inspired the team. And they were coming up to the biggest game of the season, one of the last games of his career. The rivalry is like Navy, Army. And a few nights before this big game, Jerry comes knocking on the coach's door. Coach opens it and sees Jerry's face is just sad. It's rejected. It's down. Coach says, what's up? Jerry said, my dad died. Now, along with the coach admiring Jerry's practice skills, he admired how he and his dad's relationship was. He would see his dad when he came to visit, always walking around the campus arm in arm with Jerry, and they were laughing and having a good time. And so the coach just knew how important it was, and the kid said, hey, can I miss some practices? And the coach said, of course you can. And as he was going, he said, son, if you miss the final of that game, that's okay too. So Saturday's the big game. Friday night, a few hours before that Saturday's big game, knock on the door. And there's Jerry standing at the door. He said, Coach, I'm back. He said, Coach, I've got one favor to ask. I've never asked you a favor or anything. Coach, would you start me tomorrow? The coach heads start going, and they're underdogs. They're down by 3 touchdowns. The kid can't hold on to the ball. What am I going to do? It's like, but his heart just said, yeah. And the kid left, and Jerry, went away. And the coach couldn't sleep that night. He's rolling. He said, what did I say? I can't let him down. I gave him my word, but, the team, I've got to do this for the team. And he wrestled with the night. The next day, the game day, the band is playing. The coach thinks, well, put him out the opening kickoff. They won't kick it to him. Or first play, I'll tell the quarterback, give it to the other guy. And here it is, the band's playing, and opening kickoff. The kid is out there on the goal line. The coach is thinking the ball's going there. And sure enough, the ball end over end right into Jerry's hands. And Jerry holds onto that thing like he has never held it before. And he started running upfield, and he dodged 3 tackles, never fumbled the ball, and got to midfield. And the place went wild because they didn't know who this kid was. And the coach is thinking, well, maybe, he's got something going. Maybe I'll call his numbers next play. So he tells the quarterback. The quarterback hands it to Jerry. And Jerry busts 2 tackles and goes 20 yards. And a few plays later, this kid runs it in for the touchdown. And the place is wild. And the other team scratching their head. Who's this kid? We scouted. He's nowhere on the scouting reports. This kid was so exciting that the coach let him in for defense. He made tackles. He blocked passes. He even intercepted one. And at halftime, the room was going wild. They were ahead by 2 or 3 touchdowns. And by the end of the game, they demolished the favorite team. And in the locker room was the mayhem that you would expect of an underdog winning an arch rival kind of game. And the coach walks in and sees Jerry sitting in the corner quietly by himself, and his head is in his hands. And the coach walks over and says, kid, I don't know how you did that. You're not good enough to do that. You don't have the skills. You're not fast enough. You're not strong enough. He just looked up and said, Coach, I don't know if you ever knew, but my dad was blind, and this is the first game he ever got to see me play. Yeah. There is an indomitable strength that is within you, that is otherworldly, that transcends dimensions. And you can dial into that frequency and be that conduit for its expression. You've got to become sensitive to that possibility, because I want you to get that you are immortal. You're immortal now. You don't die to become immortal. You are immortal now. A dead person doesn't live again. Our contention is that a living person never dies. You don't create life. You don't destroy life. You are life that is expressing. You are immortal. I mean, we say that about God, don't we? God is eternal. God is immortal. Well, what you are is that offshoot. You are that pedigree. You are that life of spirit. Of course, you are also immortal, eternal, and ever expanding. The truth of you is infinite. You're not a part of it. You are a part of it. Not apart from it, but a part of it. It's like, yeah, you get it. Man, I can just get this whole Christ thing is about expressing that love. It is coming into this world and letting it flow. It's not about what can I get. It's about how can I share that for which I have had my pockets stuffed with, and trust that whatever I need to help bring that about at this point in my life. I had the milestones and I did my thing, and there's going to be more, but right now, what am I being moved to do, to share? Because love is where it's at. It's not the getting. You ask any mom, isn't it just incredible to love your kids? It's like, it's that love thing. And so the whole Christ message, or the Krishna message, the Buddha, is that light, is that love, and letting that be. That is what is going to rise you above the ashes. It will free you from the tomb. It will allow you to do the forgiveness, whether it is of yourself or another human being that has done you wrong, that has trapped you in the subjective field of look at the pain and the agony, and you decide from the depths of your being there's something inside of you that wants to love, this mystical directive that says forgive and open up and rise triumphant in this moment, because everything that is necessary to have that pain dissolve and go away is available to you. Gehil Gibran said, when you're loving, don't say God is in your heart. Rather say, I am in the heart of God. And what I know about this Easter message is that it is a new day. It is spring. There's new creation, the whole rabbit thing, it's just there's new... There's just so much newness that is possible. The Easter story is ancient, it is old, it is divine, it is God. And what I want you to get today is that it is your story, and it is your responsibility to make it personal, real, and relevant in your life. God bless you on this Easter Sunday. I love you. Hey. let's keep it going as we bring the wonderful Seaside Choir back to our stage. Hey, that is the Seaside Choir under the direction of Reverend Fran, Carl leading them. It is just fabulous. I am just just so in love with what it is you're doing. Hey, this is the time of our service where we have the opportunity to unite together in our givingness. Together we have created this community. Together we are able to create miracles. Together we create a place where people can feel the presence of God when they just tune in to what Seaside is. It is a place where healing happens. It is a place where we take care of our children. It is a place the moment you drive onto this campus, you can feel the love and the caring and the presence of God. Together we have taken this community from 25 to almost 1,000 people here this Easter morning. There is something powerful going on because of the support of you. This message has been about you, and this is the time of our service where we come together and to share from our hearts that stirring of financial support, because we operate in a community which requires that kind of interaction. And so as you give, it is a promissory note of this energy to be delivered in a way that will be a blessing to support this community's expression and its outreach and its work. And so I invite you to listen to your heart and say yes to that. I'd like to call the ushers forward. I also see the children standing outside. You guys can come in if you want, Debbie. Bring on in the kids. I want to say thank you to our ushering crew. Thank you to those that mail in your contribution when you cannot be here on a Sunday, as well as those that remember us with the auto tithe, that regular systematic support from your world to Seasides, because we have regular requirements that keep us needing to answer to keep things going here. And I want to say thank you to our online community, those that are watching the live streaming. Your support is helping to make a difference, so thank you. And so I share this prayer of gratitude with the most generous of spiritual communities, knowing that this is an abundant moment where the wonderful flow of life begins to unfold, that it is released from that promissory moment in time, knowing that I am living in this infinite realm of God, that my security and my peace rests upon spirit, knowing that there's something even greater that continues to touch and bless my life. Even in the moment I don't know, I continue to send forth that wonderful stardust of gold in my being, in which I came into this world to share, knowing that as I share this love and I give this gift, my world is continuously raised to the next level in those ways that are right, real, and relevant. Thank you for this divine moment. It is in this state of gratitude and appreciation for that which has blessed me that I send forth this, knowing it continues to bless those with whom it comes in contact. And so it is. Amen. And together, let us share our affirmation of abundance, which is, Spirit continues to bless my world. Gratefully, I live as the giving expression of Spirit, opening the floodgates of the affluent flow of greater good as my life now. guys from Seaside. Woo! Great going, guys. Fabulous, fabulous band. Woo. And just applaud this wonderful abundance for the blessings of God continues to move through each and every one of us. For truly each of us is that conduit of the abundant flow of life. And I know right now that this gift is given with an open heart, with a sense of love, being a good steward, and is received and handled in a good stewardship kind of way. For that which has blessed our individual lives that has been sent forth will continue to bless those with whom it comes in contact. Thank you, thank you, thank you for this ability to be in a place of flow and givingness and trust and break free of any of the constraints and know that truly this is an abundant moment for each and every one in our lives. And so it is. Amen. Thank you. Thank you, Trudy. She is our board president at this time, so thank you for the wonderful leadership. Choir, you guys were fabulous today, the Seaside Choir. And Fran, bless you for the wonderful guidance that you did with our musical department. And Carl Anthony, hey, fabulous Carl, next year. Let's keep making those memories together. Woo! And Reverend Sunshine Day, bless you for gracing our Sunday stage. Dr. Christina, thank you. Reverend Catherine, and bless your heart. Reverend Tammy, 25 years of services. Woo! Giving us sound is Ed, visuals is Steve and Tim on that live streaming podcasting. And the flowers, Reverend Tammy, thank you, and Rick for the wonderful Easter lilies that are here. And there's some special flowers. Ariana and our choir and her son Andrew have given us the flowers today in honor of your dad and your husband who died 4 years ago this day. And so on this Easter celebration, thank you for the beauty. His spirit lives on, and I know right now that spirit which he is so alive within you and within all of us because of your love. So thank you. Let's see, Thursday, we're starting a new ministry here. It's we're creating a ministry for special needs, and not quite sure exactly what it's supposed to look like, but we're launching it. A bunch, maybe 10 of us I know so far are coming together Thursday at 10 o'clock to really explore and flesh out what this new ministry is going to look like. So all of you that have interest in that ministry, come on out and be part of that. Also, what's happening on Saturday, it's important, is the women's group is bringing together as many people as we can to clean up our gardens, because on the 14th, it is the official dedication and the launch of our 25-year anniversary. We were incorporated in April 25 years ago. We're cutting the ribbon. We're not. Supervisor Dave Roberts is cutting the ribbon with the deputy mayor in our garden. The press will be here. The cameras will be here. So plan to be here on the 14th after the second service when that is going on. And next Sunday, we're launching our Silver Circle Club, and that's a very special group that is supporting Seaside after 25 years, and it's just a magical thing. You'll find out more about it next week. But what I want to do right now, before we wrap up this morning, is this Sunday is Debbie's last Sunday as our youth and family director, and she is going on to focus more on her senior year in the School of Ministry, is successfully passing this on, the youth and family ministry, to Reverend Lori Sheets. But Debbie, I want to call you up and just say thank you very much for your couple years of service and leading our youth and family. Absolutely. So the donuts out there from the kids, and what I know is the children want to go out and hunt Easter eggs, so I'm going to do a quick prayer to get us out of here, because we have been praying and we have been singing, and singing is praying twice, and we've been dancing and having a great time and celebrating, and Seaside rises and I celebrate, and I can feel that presence and that love that is in this moment. It is a confirmation of the good that is going on within this community, of the good work that we are doing as a family, as a spiritual family, that has believed in a vision that has surpassed the concerns of the subjective mind of why things cannot be done, and opened up that space for God to have its way. For it is the will of God that has continued to move Seaside forward, that continues to touch the hearts and the lives of the members of this community. And what I know is that every member of this spiritual family continues to move to a greater conscious connection with Source. And so that divine presence unfolds in this moment within our lives, lifting us up to the next level of a faith and a trust that is absolute, unshakable, I know every prayer request that has been brought forth to our prayer request chest is answered within the mind of God, expressing the lives of the requestees. And it is in this sacred moment of absolute belief and conviction that I invite all of us to lift into this space anyone who is near and dear to our heart and our soul that could use a little bit more of that divine grace and healing in their life. Allow Spirit to have its way. For truly, we're here to love. And it is in that loving place that we become that conduit for Spirit to flow, purging out anything unlike itself. We walk this world with a grace, with the ease, with the fulfillment, with the contentment, with the conviction and the courage of stepping off into that new place, knowing that that new dimension that calls us to rise up has been placed before us by God itself. And so this, I am grateful. I'm thankful for the healing that's taking place, for the shift that is going on here in mine that facilitates the perfect healing in relevant ways. And I let go, and I trust, and I believe in the divine. And so it is. Amen.
Ooh, there was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I did not know the grace of God was sufficient. I did not know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged and trying to make it through just one more day, you gotta let it go. Let it all go. And this is what we have to say. Come on! I believe and I let go. I let the Spirit let my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. You know there's no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. You know that I release when I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. In my heart, it's open wide. I'm only here for God. Yes, there's no more struggle, no more strife. Got to make us see the light. I am free. I am free. Only here for God. Now, Seaside, y'all sing. And I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No, there's no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only for
Come on, guys, let's have an Easter egg hunt outside in the gardens, everyone.
You'll be the grandest lady in the Easter parade. Thank you.